You know, I get the impression that I'm in Mexico, but no, I'm in Del Rio, Texas. Okay, I found it. The Brinkley Mansion. Check out the wolf with the suckling kids. Alright, Dr. John R. Brinkley, North Carolina native. John R. Brinkley, 1885-1942, opened a medical clinic and radio station in Kansas and promoted controversial medical practices, including one that used goat gland implants to increase sexual pep in men. He became rich, but was criticized by the American Medical Association and the Federal Radio Commission. In 1933, he moved his family to Del Rio, opening up a hospital and setting up a powerful radio station, XER, in Villa Cuna, Mexico. He was a colorful, charitable individual known for his lavish lifestyle. He buoyed the local economy during the Great Depression and brought much attention to Del Rio. Despite fame and wealth, authorities shut down the Brinkley enterprise in 1938. He was a charlatan, that's what he was. He wasn't a medical doctor. He was a snake oil salesman by trade. Look at the official Texas Historical Commission Brinkley Mansion. This site was once the farmland irrigated by Del Rio's canal system. Construction of this house began in the early 1930s. In 1934, infamous Goat Gland Doctor John R. Brinkley and his wife Minnie bought the home, which exhibits elements of the Spanish eclectic style. The couple enlarged and added elaborate water features on the grounds, completed the menagerie, flashing color lights, loudspeakers connected to a pipe organ inside. Local residents often came to dance to the music, enjoy the light show at the local landmark, which the Brinkley family owned for 46 years. He got shut down, but he never went to jail. Look at this tree. Is this a cypress? You see the leaves are turning. Look how big it is. It's a monster. This is just a couple houses up from the Brinkley Mansion. I think it's a cypress tree. Boy, it's a monster too. Hey, look at these balls hanging on. And here's the house. I like these Christmas balls hanging in the tree. Now I presume this is the irrigation canal that they were talking about. These are Osage oranges, they're called. Boy, talk about a pungent smell. Alright, here it is right here, the Boyer radio. XER was the first one, WXERA, and the final one was XERF. Here's a picture of what it looks like. Look at that antenna. 1 million watts. That's incredible, isn't it? 1 million watts. (1946 to 1966). This is in Mexico. Villa Cuna. Interior shot. Interior shot. Interior shot. Here's the outside of it. Look at these vacuum tubes. Dr. Brinkley and radio life. Dr. Brinkley first discovered his interest in radio on a trip to California with a friend in the early 1920s. He started his first radio station in 1923 in Kansas called KFKB, Kansas First, Kansas Best, or Kansas Folk Know Best, using a 1-watt transmitter. He gained popularity over the next few years and became one of Kansas' most popular radio stations. He would spend hours talking on his radio station about his goat gland treatments and how they could change lives. Dr. Brinkley also played a variety of music between shows, such as Hawaiian songs and American root music or even gospel. As the station grew more popular, it made more money, which he used to help improve the town of Milford. He paid for the new sewage system, sidewalks, installed electricity, built apartments for his future patients. Dr. Brinkley started a special segment of his radio called Medical Question Box, MQB, where people could write in their problems, and he would read them on the air and suggest treatments to anyone to hear. The treatments he offered were only available through a specific network of pharmacies that were part of Brinkley Pharmaceutical Association. These pharmacies sold Brinkley's medications over the counter at highly inflated prices, then sent a portion of the profit to Brinkley, and they kept the rest. This was thought to have made Brinkley $14,000 profits weekly. By today's standards, it would be about $180,000 a week, approximately $10 million a year. Unfortunately, stories of patients showing up sick into other doctors' offices after taking what Dr. Brinkley prescribed for them started to surface. The bad publicity from the Kansas City Star and the Kansas City Medical Board decided to take action and deal a formal investigation. His license was taken away in 1930 after Brinkley was shamed out of Kansas. He moved to Del Rio, Texas, and then opened up another radio station. This time he opened it up in Mexico because they were very eager to seek revenge against North America for dividing up the wavelengths and not giving any to Mexico. They gave Dr. Brinkley a 50,000-watt radio license, and construction started in XRE AM, his new border blaster from across the bridge in Villa Acuna. The U.S. tried to prevent the construction of the new radio station but failed. In the fall of 1931, two 300-watt towers were up and ready for broadcasting. In October 1931, XRE 840 on the dial made its debut. Brinkley called it the Sunshine Station Between Nations. Brinkley continued to give out medical advice on his new radio station, even though his license was revoked in the U.S. The new station could be heard all the way to Kansas and eventually could be heard in many places around the world due to his strength. He started to sell airtime to other advertisers at an hourly rate of $1,700. In today's market, that would be $30,000 an hour. He also had many up-and-coming singing stars on the show, and soon Del Rio was nicknamed Hillbilly Hollywood. In 1934, Mexico, under an immense amount of pressure from the U.S., revoked his license, shut down the station. This did not stop Brinkley from being on the air. After this, he continued to broadcast from nearby ZEPN from Piedras Negras. At one point, XERA was pumped up to 1 million watts, and people in Del Rio did not need a radio to hear the broadcast. Unfortunately, in 1941, XERA was shut down once again by the Mexican government, supposedly for broadcasting pro-Nazi beliefs, which were denied by the Brinkley family. After that, he did not open up another station. He entered a period of his life full of legal issues and the U.S. and Mexico. With the U.S. and Mexico, he died in 1942, penniless, due to all these issues. This had to be his wife, Minnie. Dr. Brinkley, the Doctor Book. Brinkley Hospital Incorporated. There's a radio station here in Mexico. It's a migration. Dr. Brinkley also owned 3 yachts, 12 automobiles, and several different airplanes. Over the course of his life, he owned 3 large yachts, each one larger than the last. He purchased for $20,000. His first he purchased for $20,000, was 115 feet long. He originally named it the Amazon, but renamed it Dr. Brinkley. His second yacht, Dr. Brinkley II, was purchased in 1934, 150 feet, had a 1,200 horsepower diesel engine, crew of 14. Before he bought his third and largest yacht, Dr. Brinkley sold the Brinkley II to the president of Venezuela. Brinkley 3 had a crew of 23 and was 171 feet long. Wow, man. There it is. That's a picture of it right there. 2,000 miles of border stations from Tijuana to Tampico. There's the Brinkley station right here. The XER 1932-1934. XERA 1934-1941. Dr. Brinkley, the big daddy of border radio, broke ground in the summer of 1931 just outside of Kuna for a border blaster. The doctor contracted with a firm in Salina, Kansas to erect a $30,000 broadcasting building. He hired Will Branch, an engineer who built the first transmitter for the Fort Worth WBAP, to draw up plans for a powerful 175,000 watt station. His pockets pulled out. He had a wad of greenbacks. Peeled off 36 $1,000 bills to cover the cost. Whoa! Dr. Brinkley's station was XER, but it wasn't that what he had hoped for. The troubles he had would plague border blasters for the next 50 years.